Hello students, welcome to all. This is Dr. Vignesh Farmekha, lecturer in geography, Government Degree College for Women's Begumpet, Hyderabad. In this session, that is Human Resource Part 2 video, we are going to discuss about the various points. In the previous session, that is Part 1 video of Human Races, we have gone with the introduction to human races, definition of evolution, the process of evolution, and evidences of evolution. And today, that is in part 2 video of humans evolution, and we are going to discuss the evolution of humans, various stages in human evolution. In this, we are going to discuss about the various stages of evolution of humans, and then we will focus on the migration of early man and adaptation impacts on natures. We will start the evolution of humans. Evolution involves the gradual changes from simple to the more complex forms. Humans are believed to have developed from simpler forms. The evolution is hypothesized to have begun in the ocean billions of years ago. Charles Darwin gave the theory of evolution. In his work, The Origin of Species, Darwin has stated that evolution has took place through a series of the selection of nature. The theory also emphasized the major points as the following: the struggle for the existence, variation, survival of the fittest, and natural selection. Struggle for existence, variation, survival of the fittest, and natural selection. Evolution is the result of the interaction between the following 5 processes: mutation, genetic recombination, chromosomal abnormalities, natural selection, and reproductive isolation. The primates, like humans, are mammals. As discussed in the previous session, around 10 to 12 million years ago, the ancestral primate lineage split through speciation from one common ancestor into major groups. These two lineages evolved separately to become the variety of species we watch today. The members of one group were the early version of what we know today as the great apes, that is, gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos in Africa, orangutans in Asia, that appears on the screen. Gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, one, then humans. That is, the modern great apes evolved from this ancestral group. They mostly remained in forest with an arboreal lifestyles, meaning they live in trees. Great apes apes are also quadrupeds, which means they move around with four legs on the ground. That appears on the screen. The group others evolved in a different way. They became terrestrial, meaning they live on land and not in trees. From being quadrupeds, they evolved to bipeds, meaning they move around on their two back legs. In addition, the size of their brain increased. This is the group that, through evolution, gave rise to the modern or the current humans. Many fossils found in African continent are from the genus named the Australopithecus, which means southern ape. This genus is extinct, but the fossil studies revealed interesting features about their adaptation towards a territorial lifestyle. Now, we move on the various stages of human evolution. There are the following stages in the evolution of humans. They are Australopithecus afarensis and Lucy, Homo habilis, followed by the Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, and Homo sapiens. Now, we focus on the Australopithecus afarensis and Lucy. In Ethiopia, that is eastern part of Africa, there is a site known as Hadar, where the several fossils of different animal species were found. Among these fossils was Australopithecus afarensis. In 1974, paleoanthropologists found an almost complete skeleton of one specimen of this species. I named it Lucy. From the Beatles' song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the whole world found out about Lucy, and she was in every newspaper. She became a global celebrity. And this female, only about 1.1 million meters tall, and lived 3.2 million years ago. Lucy could have used arboreal and bipedal locations as well as food bones of another. Australopithecus afarensis individual had a curve similar to that found in the feet of modern human beings. The authors have been finding suggested accordingly that Australopithecus afarensis was exclusively bipedal and could have been a hunter-gatherer. Homo habilis. Homo is the genus, that is the group of species that includes modern humans like us and our most closely related extinct ancestor. The organisms that belong to the same species produce viable offspring. The famous paleoanthropologist named Louis Leakey, along with his team, discovered Homo habilis, which means handyman, in 1964. Homo habilis Who was the most ancient species of Homo ever found? Homo habilis appeared in Tanzania, the eastern part of Africa, over 2.8 million years ago, and 1.5 million years ago became extinct. Homo habilis were estimated to be about 1.4 meter tall and were terrestrial. They were different from Australopithecus because of the form of the skull. The shape was not piriform, that is pear-shaped, but spheroid, that is round, like the hat of a modern woman. Homo habilis made the stone tools a significant of creativity by the Homo habilis. The picture on the screen discloses you the Homo habilis as this as making the stone stools. Next, we focus on the another stage, that is Homo erectus. In Asia, in 1891, Eugene Dubois, a paleoanthropologist, discovered the first fossil of Homo erectus, which means upright man, who appeared 1.8 million years ago. This fossil received several names also. The best known are the Pithecanthropus, that is ape man, and Sinanthropus, the Chinese man. Homo erectus appeared in eastern part of Africa and migrated to Asia, where they carved refined tools from stone. Boys also brought some shells of the time of Homo erectus from Java to Europe. Contemporary scientists studied these shells are found engravings that dated from 4,30,000 and 5,40,000 years ago. And these have concluded that the Homo erectus individuals were able to express themselves using various symbols. Now, we focus on Homo neanderthalensis. Several species of Homo emerged following the Homo erectus, and quite a few coexisted for some time. The best known one is Homo neanderthalensis, usually called Neanderthals, and they were known as European branch originating from two lineages that discovered around 4 lakhs years ago, with the second branch by lineage Homo sapiens, known as the African branch. The figure on the screen discloses you about the Neanderthals, or the Homo neanderthalensis. The first Neanderthal fossil, dated from around 4,30,000 years ago, was found in a La Cima de los Huesos in Spain and is considered to originate from the common ancestor called the Homo heidelbergensis. Neanderthals used many of the natural resources in their environment. Animals, plants, and minerals were found in their environment. Homo neanderthalensis, or the Neanderthals, hunted terrestrial and marine, that is, ocean animals also, requiring a variety of weapons. Tens of thousands of stone tools from Neanderthal sites are exhibited in many museums. Neanderthals created paintings in the La Pazioga cave in south of the Spain and decorated their bodies with jewels and colored paintings. Many graves were found which made the held burial ceremonies. The next stage is Homo sapiens, that is the modern man's immediate ancestors. Which were recently discovered in Morocco, in the northern part of Africa, have been added to the intense debate on the migration of Homo sapiens after they originated 3,15,000 years ago. The location of these fossils could mean that Homo sapiens had visited the whole of Africa. In the same way, the scattering of fossils out of Africa indicated their migration from their origin place to various continents. While intensely debated, the hypothesis focused on either a single dispersal or a multiple dispersal out of the African continent. Nevertheless, even if the migration origin to Europe is still a matter of debate, it appears that the Homo sapiens was present in Israel in 1,80,000 years ago. Hence, it could be that migration to Europe was not directly from Africa but indirectly through a stay in Israel of Asia. The Homo sapiens arrived about 45,000 years ago into Europe, where the Neanderthals were already present. The study of ancient DNA showed that the Homo sapiens had babies with Neanderthals and Denisovans. The present day people, or the humans living in Europe and Asia, share between 1 and 4% of their DNA with their Neanderthals or the Denisovans. These several thousands of years ago, Homo sapiens already made art. Like for examples, the wall painting in the Chavod Cave 33,000 years ago, and the Lascaux Cave 19,000 years ago, both in Pont France. The quality of the paintings discloses great artistic ability and intellectual development of Homo sapiens. They continue to prospect the earth. Homo sapiens crossed the Bering Land Bridge, which connecting Siberia and Alaska, and moved south 12,500 years ago to what is now called the Chile. Homo sapiens gradually colonized our entire planet. Now, we move with the migration of early mans, and we also focus on the peopling of the earth. Between 70,000 and 1 lakh years ago, Homo sapiens began migrating from the continent of Africa and populating parts of the Europe and Asian continents. Homo sapiens have reached the Australian continent in canoes sometime in between 35,000 and 65,000 years ago. Several scientists studying the land masses and the climate know that the Pleistocene ice age created a land bridge that connected the continent Asia and continent North America, that is the part of Alaska. Sorry, that is in the Alaska, the part of North America, over 13,000 years ago. A widely accepted migration theory is that the humans crossed this land bridge and eventually moved into North and South America continents. The figure on the screen discloses about the migration of the early men into all continents. How were our ancestors able to achieve this feat, and why did they make the decision to leave their hometowns, home places? The growth and development of language about 50,000 years ago allowed the humans to make plans and solve the problems. Then started organizing effectively. We cannot be sure of the exact reasons humans first migrated of the continent Africa, but it was likely correlated with a depletion of resources, that is like food in their regions, home regions, and competition for those resources. Once the early humans were able to communicate these concerns and make plans, the early humans could assess together whether the pressure in the home places outweighed the risk of leaving to find a new one. The map of the world appears on the screen, shows the migration of the Homo sapiens throughout the earth over time. Homo sapiens, reflected with red arrows, shown populating the entire world over time. Homo neanderthalensis is reflected in orange, shown populating is reflected in orange what is Europe and Middle East today. And Homo erectus is represented in yellow in Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Observe the world map that shows the migration of the early humans into all continents. Now, the adaptation and effects on nature. When humans migrated, from Africa continent to colder climates. They made clothing out of animal skins and constructed fiber to keep themselves warm. Often they burned fires continuously through the winter. Sophisticated weapons such as spears and bows and arrows allowed them to kill the huge animals efficiently. Along with the altering climates, these hunting methods contributed to the extinction of the territorial or the land animals such as mammoths, game kangaroos, and mastodons. Fewer game animals, in turn, limited Ondas available prey. In addition to hunting the animals and killing the animals out of the self-defense, the early humans began to use the resources of the earth in new ways when they constructed the semi-permanent settlements. The humans began shifting from nomadic lifestyles to the fixed homes, that is permanent settlements, using the natural resources available in their environment. The semi-permanent settlements would be the building blocks of established communities and the development of the agriculture practices in the time. Dear learners, so far in this session, that is part 2 video of the human races, we have gone with the evolution of humans and the various stages of humans evolution. Then we gone with the migration of the early humans and peopling of the earth. Then we have adaptation and impacts on nature by the early humans. In the next session, we will focus on the concept of human races, characteristics, subgroups and their distribution. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vananda.